tunakukaribisha kwenye mlima wa Mungu. Uko kule Thika Sarama Estate, ukipita pale Ananas Mall kwenye barabara ya Garissa, stage inaitwa Kwaheri, Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa unataka chumba chako peke yako, watu wawili, watu wanne na hata kikundi, tunakukaribisha. Vitu vyote ambavyo unatumia kule kwenye mlima tunapeana. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa ungalipenda nambari ya simu 0797953840. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Karibuni.
Hello and a good and warm welcome to every entrepreneur and aspiring entrepreneur outside. We are happy to have you here at Rise and Thrive. It's a good Monday. It's an amazing Monday. It's an amazing day. And we are so happy to have you as part of our team today. We would like to invite you to enjoy the show today. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're somebody who's looking to start their business, Rise and Thrive is the go-to plug for you. Every week we bring great shows, we bring great entrepreneurs, people who are going to be able to give you the inspiration that you need in order for you to kickstart your business and take it to the next level. And so welcome and welcome again. We are so happy to have you here. My name is Sila and I am your host for today. And today, without further ado, I have a great guest right here with me on set. She's a powerhouse, a great woman with so many things. I am sure you're going to be so happy to get to hear what she has. And so without further ado, let me give her an opportunity to introduce herself. Karibu sana, Madam Rose.
Thank you very much, Faith. My name is Rose Lamai Toingen.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to be here this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm also expecting a lot as we work together in this program today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rose. We are so much excited, and I'm sure my audience is also so much excited to get to know what exactly you do and everything just about you, Rose in general. Here at Rise and Thrive, we are all about inspiration. So before we even get to the brand, we would like to get to know who is Rose Lamai behind the big brand that you want to give us today. And before we move forward to other many things, I would like to let you know that we are going to be live every single Monday. Feel free to join us so that you can be able to get the great inspiration that you're looking for to kickstart your business, kickstart your dreams, and take it to the very next level. So without holding back, let us start the show. Who is Rose Lamai?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Rose Lamai Toingen is an ordinary Kenyan who began life from a very ordinary background. I was born in Nandi County, born and raised in Nandi County. And most part of my first life, I was in Nandi County. I went to a primary school near home, a place called Baraton. I went to Chimundu Primary School.
Yeah.
Then I went to Chepterit Girls, St. Joseph's Girls High School, Chepterit.
Yeah.
Then I went to Kapsabet Girls for A-levels. Then after that, I went to Moi University to pursue education. I'm a teacher of history and theory, which I did in Moi University. And I would go back home and say, I am the firstborn in a family of 10.
Wow.
An amazing family, a really beautiful home. My parents, my father was a soldier who retired early or resigned actually after only 12 years of working. My mother was a farmer and the real home keeper.
Yeah.
But the most interesting and very beautiful thing about our family is that my parents were such a united couple. So they brought us up in such a way that they were in agreement. So whatever was taught to us from childhood and being the firstborn and being the girl, I think to some very good extent, I would say I became one of the earliest deputy parents in the home. Yes. So apart from that, I would also say in my early childhood, 3 things characterized my life.
Okay.
One is love for education.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Both my parents were very passionate about education and being the first born, I think I also set the pace for the rest of my siblings. Secondly was Christianity. I was also brought up in a very strong Christian family background. Church was everything, and you wouldn't miss church. And you would even be noticed when you are seated in church. You needed to be disciplined, you needed to look organized and just be structured. So Christianity played a big role in my childhood. And then, of course, education, and then thirdly, hard work. We were taught the principles of hard work from the beginning. At the point your hands are able to do something, then you had a task or a role to play. And one other thing I would say about my family background, which I'm very proud of, and I really don't shy to speak about, is that we had duty rosters. Because we were many, I think our parents found it easy to manage us using a duty roster. And we were so structured to such an extent that before you go to bed, you actually had to know what you're supposed to do in the next day when you wake up. And we knew who is playing which role, who is taking what responsibility. So that is basically what brought me up. That is how I was nurtured. That's how I was developed as a person. So when I went to school, I think the principles of hard work, which I learned from home, became the foundation of my progress and growth. Yes.
Wow, that is so amazing. I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot, and I would like you to just share with us and maybe let us know, as you were growing up, what was your purpose? Because many a times people grow up, they want to be one thing, and at the end, some end up being that thing, and others end up being something totally different to what they desired to become. So maybe you can share with the viewers, how did you discover your purpose? How did you get to know what makes your heart beat,
Awesome. That is very interesting. I think like many young people, I didn't quite discover my purpose early in life. But what I would say is the principles of hard work helped me, first of all, to just go for grades. When I was in school, one of my big goals was just to excel in whatever subject I took. So that laid the foundation for what would later graduate into the career I chose. But I would also say at the beginning of my early life, one person who inspired me the most was my uncle. I had two uncles. Both of them were very learned. They went to school and they loved education. One was working with Kenya Power. The other one was a director with the Kenya Dairy Board. So they are the people who kept pulling us, helping us to see that there is more to life than what you are seeing in your immediate surrounding or your background. Coming back to career, I was naturally a speaker. I used to read the Bible in the assembly. I used to be called upon to make announcements even when I was in primary school. And then one other thing, I used to be very good in writing good compositions. So teachers somehow also placed me in a position of responsibility because I was able to communicate well. So arising from that, I ended up in the teaching profession. But before that, I really wanted to be a nurse. Interesting. I wanted to be a nurse, and I think part of the reason I really wanted to take nursing as a career was because of the adornment. I would see nurses looking nice in white dresses, and I thought I would be a nurse. But looking at it again, I look at myself and look at the way I had a dread for blood, for wounds, and I knew I couldn't become a nurse. Now, one other interesting thing, I was brought up in a family in a Catholic background. So this Catholic background exposed me to nuns. As a matter of fact, the school I went to, Chepterit Girls, we were surrounded by nuns. So at some point, I also developed an interest to be a nun.
You wanted to become a nun?
I wanted to become a nun.
Okay.
Yes. And somewhere along the way, I don't even know how I lost that. I really don't know how I lost that. But I know how I lost going to nursing, because I felt I wasn't very comfortable with handling wounds and such kind. So I had a friend who kept telling me, you can be a very good teacher.
Okay.
That is a person who directed my mind into the teaching profession. But before I go to teaching faith, I would also want to say some of the little skills I learned when I was a small girl. One of the things I loved doing was knitting. My mother trained me to do knitting.
Oh, wow.
So I used to like knitting. I used to make nice sweaters, make nice bloomer. I used to make nice sweaters. I used to do those things with the knitting needles. And that would take my concentration. And it made me to really structure my day. Even when I don't have other activities, I would go to knitting as I go to like relaxation, recreation activity. Yes. And then of course all the other activities at home, I knew how to milk very early in my life. I knew how to do firewood, all those other things that children of today may not be having an opportunity to do. I was exposed to doing that. Farming was part of our lifestyle. Yes.
Okay, that is amazing. I want you to continue to share with us, but before we do, I just realized something in everything that you have just shared with us. I don't know if our viewers have captured it, but she has spoken much about how her family background, especially her parents, shaped her into whom she is, or rather shaped her personality or the kind of principles that she stands for. She mainly got them from her parents. So I would like my viewers to maybe share with us, tell us, what exactly has your parent been able to inspire you, or what exactly do you feel that your parents may have done that made you realize what you have been caught up to do? Or how did you discover your purpose as a grown-up? Because some of them, I know some of us are not relatable with our parents maybe shaping who we are right now, but maybe you can share with us what has been your journey to falling into the entrepreneurial field that you're in, or maybe what are you aspiring to become. And also feel free to share with us where you're watching us from. We would like to know, we would like to interact with our viewers. We are so happy to have you here, and let us continue the conversation. I know Rose has so much to tell us. So moving on to my next question. We have seen Rose as a young girl. Let us now talk about teenhood. How was your teen life when it came to now growing up? You're now almost an adult, and then now we're going to cross over to adult life and see how that shaped you to become the woman you are.
Good. That's also another interesting an interesting question. I look back and I don't even know how I really went through my teenage life. I would say it just happened. It just disappeared. Maybe partly because I was fully in school. I joined Form 1 when I was 14, and I went into a school that was very structured also. St. Joseph's Girls Chapterate Girls was a wonderful school. Honestly, that is a school that shaped our values as we were growing up as older children. As older girls. The principal of the school at that point, she was known as Sister Judith Cherono. Sister Judith was a very, very strict disciplinarian. And she would not shy from telling us everything about life as a girl and as a potential woman who is growing into parenting or such kind of responsibility. So we grew up as a team. When I was in high school, we had a very structured way of doing things, and we also used to get counseling and guidance from our principal as well as the teachers. The environment was strict, but at the same time it was a very warm environment. I haven't seen a school where you can hug your teachers and your teachers can hug you, and in some instances you just find you are given an opportunity to have explorative dances. We used to have dance, Scottish dance, Irish dance. During public holidays, those were opportunities for them to share values to us. So I would say most part of my teenage life was taken by Chapterate Girls, and the values and principles that the school taught, with the teachers, the warm environment that the teachers provided, and of course the Catholic environment that the church also. Interestingly, during our time in high school, we used to cross over from the school to the church with no restriction. If you found any free time, you would just walk to church and walk back. So there was such an element of confidence in the girls in the school that you were not just operating under what I would call discipline that is rehabilitative. We were proactive. We were taught to take responsibility early in life. So I would say Chepterit girls played a big role. Later I went to A level, Kapsabet girls, and I think the foundation that had been established in Chepterit girls, as well as the busy schedule you have as an A-level student, it just took away that teenage, and I just found myself a grown-up. By the time I was getting into the university, I was 19. Actually, I got into the university at 20, so I completed Form 6 at 19. And I think that is how my life went. I didn't find any much difficulties. Of course, we had those small cheeky things of piping your skirt, wanting to just display that you've grown. But I didn't have any major challenges as I was growing up during the teenage years of my life.
That is great. Now, that since we are in the university, basically, we've stepped into the university. Maybe you can tell us how life there shaped you, the kind of people you met, what exactly pushed you towards going towards the career field that you're currently in.
Okay. University was an interesting place for me. But it was a place I really desired to go to because of my uncle, as I said. He kept telling me, you haven't had life if you haven't gone to the university. And one of the things he talked about was even food. Actually, he just said, in the university, you get whatever meal you want. And surprisingly, during our time, when I was admitted into the university, on reporting date, we had a real selection of food, including getting an ice cream in your plate. Something that we didn't have experience of out there. So when I entered university, I had a lot of expectations. I was excited about the achievement of having to qualify to get to the university. And that excitement is what drove me even to work hard. Now, when I got there was a lot of freedom. But I think we were a mature lot because we entered college or we entered university when we were already above 18. So there was an element of maturity, and then we were many and very congested. But I think what saved and took care of me, I sandwiched myself with very few friends. We were a team of 4 ladies. We bundled around each other. And because of that, we didn't have the peer pressure that people talk about. Because I remember during that time, you would still find people going for alcohol on Friday. There was a kind of madness in the university on Fridays. But I didn't find myself doing it. I didn't find myself finding a reason to do it. So because I had these 3 other ladies who were very close, and we set boundaries for ourselves. We also found refuge in swimming. We got to learn how to swim. We got to learn how to swim, but we also used to do this knitting. The 2 of us loved knitting, the other 2 loved crocheting. So whenever we had free time, we would just use that time for those activities. It was also in the university that I learned to read other books besides what was required for academic work. That's when I got exposed to reading books that would open my mind and expand my understanding of life generally. I in fact read books about marriage and family. I read books on parenting. Then I read books on business. So during free seasons, we would be on books. Then we had some bit of adventure. We would go outside the school. There was a dam somewhere where we would go boat riding during weekends. So that was able to take the extra hours that we had, and at the same time it contributed to the expansion of our thinking, expansion of how we dealt with life and how we approached life.
Wow, that is splendid. Again, keep it locked in on Rise and Thrive. Go ahead and as well tell us where you're watching us from and what you've been able to capture so far. Maybe you can be able to ask a couple of questions if you're looking to get to know more about Rose. Keep it locked. We are about to get to know what exactly she does so that we can be able to basically have our minds broadened and open towards this level of entrepreneurship. So, Madam Rose, let us jump into the interesting part, which is the career side. So what has been your career journey so far?
I started teaching early in life,
Yeah.
incidentally also. Even before I went to the university, I was privileged to be employed by the Teacher Service Commission as an untrained teacher.
Yeah.
So I taught in a primary school for about 9 months as we were waiting to get admitted into the university.
Yeah.
And that also opened my heart to dealing with children. It was such an experience. It was a very inspiring experience. And then I went to the university. After university, I was posted to teach in high school.
Yeah.
So I was basically a teacher in high school of history and theory for almost, actually above 20 years. When I went to my first station, which was a day school, a mixed day school, which was also very close home, I started teaching my subject theory, and surprisingly, I was just able to produce the best results that had ever been produced in the school.
Oh, wow.
With a mean in theory, a mean of C plane, which had not been achieved previously. And that gave me motivation. It also showed me that what I am doing is valuable, and that I am cut out for the career of teaching.
Yeah.
So, but then after just a very short time, just after 4 years, I decided to do a master's degree. So I signed up for a master's in divinity, a Christian education emphasis, which I did with International Leadership University. At that point, it was called Nairobi International School of Theology.
Okay.
So that also broadened my world. It broadened my understanding of the scriptures, my understanding of the spiritual life, and that blend in well with my teaching of theory. After I graduated, I actually became jobless for a whole 3 years. I didn't have a job. I didn't know how to look for one, and I had a problem, of course, getting back to the Teacher Service Commission. But God is gracious. While I was still in that difficulty of securing a job and making an income, someone recommended me, someone who knew me, recommended me to a school, a private school. And they took me up as a principal immediately in 2004.
Wait, before we get to that, I'm sure my viewers would like to know. You said you had a period of joblessness for close to 3 years. I'm sure so many people have suffered that. There are so many people who probably, according to them, they feel like once you're done with the university, it's all about getting a job and getting employed. And you just mentioned you were actually in that state before you ventured, of course, into entrepreneurship. You were looking for a job, but you couldn't secure one for 3 years. Maybe you can share with us what was your experience then. And also for our viewers, feel free to tell us how has been your experience in your career, whatever field you're in. You can feel free to tell us what are the challenges you have been able to encounter as we listen to Madam Rose, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Those 3 years were tough years.
Okay.
Because it also coincided with a point when we were growing as a family. So within those 3 years, we also got 2 children.
Oh, so you were married by
babies.
then?
I was married. I got married immediately after university and had 2 children before I went for masters.
Oh.
Then now after the master's degree, that is when I had the other 2 children. So it was complicated because we have 2 babies who are growing. We have 2 others who have grown up a little bit. So I resorted to farming, which was the easiest option at that point. And because as a young mother also you have children, you were farming, then the exposure of getting and finding opportunities out there was a bit difficult. Remember those days, we didn't have the mobile phone.
Where you can check for
where
LinkedIn.
you can be looking through and just going through social media to find opportunities. It was a bit difficult. So I went into farming. And I did well. But book and paper, if you write down what you do in farming at that point, I would say I was simply spinning forward 2 steps and backward 1 step. Forward 2 steps, backward 1 step. But what I learned in life is some of the basic things that we learn at home, some of the things that we call handiworks or things that we use our hands to do can rescue us when you are in a situation where you are not able to secure a job. So I'm a strong ambassador in developing other skills besides the knowledge and education that we acquire. It is good to have other skills that you can hang on to when you find
Definitely.
yourself in a situation that is complex or difficult. So that was an experience. It helped me also to know that if I don't rescue myself, nobody will come to your rescue.
Yeah.
But thirdly, having a name and a reputation is very important.
Yeah.
Because the person who recommended me, we didn't have a discussion, but he just knew me.
Yeah.
And when he spotted an opportunity, he recommended me. I didn't even do an interview per se. I was simply told to report to the school, find the school management. I went there and I didn't even know what to expect.
Yeah.
But when I entered the school, I was received, and then I was given the responsibility of the principal. I actually almost declined because when you are in the farm and when you've been out of the limelight for some time, even your self-esteem goes down, your self-confidence goes down. So I resisted the opportunity. But the director of the school was firm. She just told me, you either swim or sink. I'm giving you the school. That was how it was.
Yeah.
And she said, the school is now in your hands. Then she took me to the principal's office and showed me the seat and told me, this is your seat beginning today. See what to do with this school.
Oh my God.
That is how serious it was.
That is how just everything
how things changed. Yes.
Interesting. Maybe you can share with us something and let an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur who is out there, or probably somebody who's never thought of venturing into entrepreneurship at all. We know it's one thing, entrepreneurship of course is not for the weak, because it takes you to have vision and it takes you to have the heart of a visionary, which means you're gonna be able to endure a lot of battles that are gonna leave scars, but you're gonna have to keep pushing forward. And so in this journey, out of that, what can you be able to tell an aspiring entrepreneur or somebody who is probably looking for a job, or they've not been able to secure one for probably more than 3 years like you had to deal with? We know there are people who are going through worse things. So what can you tell them? What can you tell them to awaken their spirit again?
Okay, very good. That's something very important, Faith.
Yeah.
Currently, I am really an ambassador of entrepreneurship.
Oh, wow.
Because entrepreneurship is an option that anybody can take.
Oh, wow.
But it all begins with the mind.
Okay.
What you tell yourself. So what I would say, the first piece of advice I would give anyone first is to invest in themselves.
Oh, wow.
Invest in knowing who you are. Know your gifts, know your talents, know what you are capable of doing and what you are not capable of doing.
Yeah.
Invest also in a skill that can help you to venture out there.
Yeah.
Then we need to invest in our capacity to believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself is not synonymous with holding big offices.
Yeah.
It's not even synonymous with academic qualifications.
Yeah.
It is possible to get someone who is academically a giant,
Yeah.
but inwardly they are shrinking. Because their self-image, self-esteem, their internal capacity has not been awakened.
They don't know who they are.
They don't know who they are. They don't even know. They really don't have goals. They don't have a dream that they are pursuing.
Okay.
So you find you are crushed in the inside, even though you are towering out here.
Yeah.
So I would say the foundation of entrepreneurship is to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Discover who you are from the inside out. Try to find out what makes you smile. Try to find out what makes you irate, what disturbs you in society today. If something disturbs you within the environment you live in, probably you have a solution to that problem.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I would say basically that is what would be the foundation.
Yeah.
Invest in knowing yourself, discover yourself, self-discovery, self-awareness, self-management, and self-mastery.
Yeah.
All these are necessary for one to get or venture into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I would also say entrepreneurship is not a path actually for a chosen few. It's a path that is open to everyone.
Okay.
But it is only a few who choose to take it.
Say that again.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying entrepreneurship is not a path that is for chosen few.
Uh-huh.
Anyone can become an entrepreneur.
Uh-huh.
But it is only a few who choose the path of entrepreneurship.
Uh-huh.
That is the amazing part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know, as Madam Rose was speaking about something, let me get a bit biblical, because I remember in the Word of God we're told about the servants who were given the 5 talents. Each and everyone was given according to the capabilities that they had. And we realized that there's those who went and invested, there are those who went and multiplied. And then we had this one servant who did have the talent, that one talent that he was given. And he went and planted it and sowed it into the ground. Then on the day the master came back, he asks for the talents that how they've been able to cultivate what they were given. And we have this one servant who spoke and said, you reap where you do not sow. We know you're a man who does not. He said all these types of things. And then finally he said, so you gave me the 1 talent. I went, buried it, and now here is your 1 talent. And we are told that it was taken away from him and given to the one who had 10, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And so I think that whatever she said is so profound. You need to first know who you are, and then what do you have? Realize what exactly God has given you in your hands. Even for Moses to be chosen as somebody who would be used to go and bring the Israelites out of Egypt, we are told that one of the things God asked him first is, what do you have? And it was only a stick. And that was what God used in order to bring deliverance. So what do you have? What do you have? If you're learning something, please tell us in the comment sections. Tell us what you've been able to capture from this conversation. And maybe before we move forward, I would like Madam Rose to share with us, what is purpose to you when it comes to discovering the road in which God has called you to go to?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I would want to go back a little bit, Faith, first and appreciate the parable that you have just mentioned. That is actually my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Parable. And for those who can read, I would like people to read from Luke chapter 19, verse 11 to 27. It's a very elaborate parable which describes how we are supposed to use the talents that God has given us, and also the penalty for not using them if you don't put them into practice. And the principle of the one who has more will be given. And the one who has the little, even that little will be taken away and given to the one who has more. That's a very solid principle from the Word of God. Okay, back to your next question on terms of purpose. One of the things I would say, purpose, everyone comes to this planet with a purpose. We have an agenda that God has given us. There are no people who are created as reservers. No people are created to be spectators in this planet. Everyone is created with an agenda that God has.
Oh, wow.
But that self-discovery is what is going to lay the foundation. For me, purpose is about how do you touch humanity? Because life, just the same way someone says, a river doesn't drink its own water. A cow doesn't drink its own milk. So even as humanity, our purpose is in other people. Finding a solution that helps someone to make their life better.
Oh, wow.
So for me, my purpose, because I am a speaker, I am a mentor, I am an author, and I am also an entrepreneur. My calling is to people. And gradually I have been doing what is called personal branding, and I've also been investigating and interrogating myself, and I have ended up realizing, because teaching was my calling, or teaching is my calling, so the people I am called to influence, impact, and better their lives are the young people who come around my path. So my purpose is influencing and impacting young people to lead productive lives early in life.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes. Get productive early in life by first discovering yourself. So I'm passionate about 3 elements. One is personal development.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every one of us has a responsibility of becoming a better version of ourselves. Every new year should be an opportunity to renew the version of you.
Okay.
By, first of all, opening up your life to an expansive environment. also getting deeper inside you, getting to discover yourself deeper, and also managing the key resource called time.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. To our viewers, I'm so happy that you're still with us. I would like you to let us know, what is purpose to you? What have you captured from her? And what do you understand by the meaning of discovering what God has called you to do? And also answer this question: do you know what God has called you to do on this earth? Because without that, I don't think anyone can be able to live a fulfilling life. You know, when one says, I have lived well, that means they know they have fulfilled the reason as to why God called them to the earth. I was talking with someone the other day and they said something. There are people whom discover their purpose when they're on their deathbed. And they're like, if I knew what I know now, then I would have been able to accomplish a lot. We don't want people to get to that point. We want them to discover it early while they still have the strength, the zeal to pursue what God has called them to do in order to be able to achieve what He has destined for them. So let us move forward now to career-wise. Tell us, when it comes to mentorship, you've said you are into personal development. So speak to us more about that. What do you do? Talk to our viewers.
Thank you very much, Faith.
Yeah.
This is something I really love to talk about. As I said earlier, I'm a teacher. Basically, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
Meaning, I use words to bring transformation.
Wow.
And the words I use are the words from the Word of God.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Wow.
the Bible is such a rich resource.
I love that.
I am a committed believer, a Christian, a born-again Christian, and I am also a theologian,
Yeah.
and I believe the gems of life are hidden in the secrets of the Word of God.
Oh, wow.
So I speak about the Word of God. And then I speak about life generally. I speak about the importance of building your personal independence, knowing yourself, securing yourself, and having your boundaries.
Oh, wow.
Part of what I have done to make this a reality is to write that book, which is called The Survival Kit for Fresh Graduates. I may not be able to access every fresh graduate in this country and beyond, but through the book, the contents of the book, I have distilled the information that I feel is helpful to the young people in this time and this generation,
Yeah.
so that they can be able to structure and manage their lives in a very productive way. So I'm passionate about personal development because it is the foundation.
Yeah.
If someone is able to, like for instance, people graduate from the university and they feel like they have time, they have free time.
Yeah.
The truth is there is no free time in this planet.
That is true.
We are here on a mission,
Yeah.
and that mission has a timeline.
Yeah.
The dash between the day you are born and the day you exit needs to be occupied with something productive.
Repeat that again.
Yes, I'm saying the dash between the day you are born and the day you exit is supposed to be occupied with something very productive and something that remains even when you are gone.
Okay.
That is what legacy is.
Wow.
So my big goal is to help people build a legacy so that you don't just tiptoe through life. Then once you are not there, there is nothing to represent your having been around for the time God has given you the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I am learning nuggets of wisdom from our dear Rose. And I am so happy that we've been able to have this conversation. Maybe you can go deeper and maybe share with us, what have you been able to accomplish so far when it comes to touching the lives of young people? Because you said one of the things you love handling or interacting with people are people whom are straight out of the university. And maybe share with us, why did you choose that age bracket? You know, there's so many brackets you could have dealt with. Younger people, you would have probably gone for 38, 40 and above, but why fresh graduates?
Very good question again.
Yeah.
And this actually helps me to put together the journey that I have mentioned.
Yeah.
When I became principal of a school for just 2.5 years. And during that time, I was able to move the school, which was performing so dismally,
Yeah.
to get to Amin, that
Yeah.
was also recognized nationally as
Wow.
one of the most improved schools during
Wow.
that time.
Wow.
That school was called Elgon View Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We moved from Amin of 3.7 to 5.1.
Mm.
That was a very dramatic shift.
Mm.
So that encouraged me.
Mm-hmm.
It inspired me to know
Mm-hmm.
that for young people, it helped me to know the skills that you need
Mm-hmm.
so that you are able to influence and impact young people.
Yeah.
Firmness is a no miss in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You have to be firm.
Mm.
Then later I went to another school.
Mm-hmm.
I became an administrator in charge of girls' affairs in a mixed school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also became the head of department, humanities.
Mm-hmm.
While there,
Yeah.
I was in a school where the subject that I was teaching was not valued. CRE was seen like it's a junior subject, it's not a very important subject.
Mm.
So when I took over a class in Form 2,
Mm.
I decided to use that class as a guinea pig
Mm.
to prove that CRE is a subject of importance.
Yeah.
And that also really worked out very well,
Mm-hmm.
because during that year, 2008,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to produce, out of a class of 22, I was able to produce 10 A's, straight A's in the subject,
Wow.
and 12 A minuses.
Mm-hmm.
That solidified my confidence in handling and directing young people.
Wow.
Because these are people who didn't have confidence, they didn't have faith,
Mm.
but through the 2.5 years, they were
Mm.
able to see and get a shift in their minds, and they
Yeah.
were able to focus.
Wow.
So later, I ended up teaching in the university.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a lecturer for 11 years
Wow.
in Kabarak University
Mm-hmm.
and Laikipia University
Mm-hmm.
and other colleges. I've also taught in other colleges. I taught in Baringo Bible College and other institutions.
Yeah.
While I was a lecturer, I was very curious about what happens to students after graduation.
Yeah.
So I would interrogate, especially the finalist students. I would ask them, now when you graduate, what is your game plan?
Yeah.
And I found many of them were blank.
Mm-hmm.
They were just hoping to get employed. They were just hoping someone will come by and offer them an employment opportunity. But when I interrogated students from Naivasha
Mm-hmm.
campus, Laikipia University,
Yeah.
there was a different script that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them were already engaged in entrepreneurial activities. I remember a young man who was selling bottles.
Oh wow.
And he told me that whenever he has free time, he would actually travel to Nairobi from Naivasha overnight. Travel in the evening, then search for bottles that had been used,
Yeah.
and then he would take them, clean them up, and he would resell them for use. Another young lady was selling spare parts for motorbikes.
Wow.
And then I was like, what is the difference between these students and the other students in other colleges and universities? So my curiosity was awakened to what happens to the young people. So I felt I could midwife the transition from just expecting to be employed
Yeah.
to also finding a way of creating that employment yourself or creating opportunities for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I'm in love with your story, and it tells that it doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, what I have been able to track in everything you've said is that there is a constant state of growth in terms of personal development. You're also an ardent seeker of knowledge, you know. So one of the things that I would like you to probably share with us and shed light on, why is it that you think there is a trend that most people feel that once they are done with the university or any high level of learning, that the next step is getting blue collar job, you know, just getting into a workspace, getting employed, climbing the social ladder? Because I remember also once upon a time, as I was also on the road to employment, there was a day I stepped into a room and we were having a conversation with one of the heads in the company. He had come to, because we were under training at that time, and I asked them a question because he gave us an entire script of where he started from, how he's been able to climb the ladder in the company to the position that he is in. And I remember I lifted up my hand and I asked him, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?" And he said yes. and I asked him, you have told us all these things, given us your entire story of how you've climbed the corporate ladder. Is this all there is? Do you think this is all there is to your life? And it kind of left him thinking, because he went silent immediately. And I wanted him to think about it, because it seemed he was so proud of his achievements by climbing the corporate ladder that I wanted to ask him, don't you think you were called to more? So why do you think there is this mindset where people just want to settle?
An observation I've made is, I think, how we structured our education system.
Yeah.
What I would recommend even for educational institutions, especially institutions of higher learning, there is so much waste of time in the colleges and universities.
Okay.
Because when someone joins campus, they have come from high school, where every minute is accounted for.
Yeah.
When you get to the university, you have a few lessons in a day, and the rest of the time you don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I think that is something we need to harness as a nation, harness as society, to use it to help people think outside the box. What I feel is people have been trained to be a bit lazy. You are learned, but you are lazy. You don't want to do it yourself. You would like someone else to do it. You become a beneficiary.
Oh.
Yes.
I hear you.
So the creativity that we have sits idle in us, because programming, we know we are just supposed to graduate and someone else takes responsibility for creating employment.
Yeah.
While in reality, it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Once you are a learned person, you are exposed, you've gone to college, campus, university, then you're supposed to have ideas that are supposed to help others to create. You can work with others to create an employment. So there's an idle mindset and idle time management. I feel the highest waste of human resource actually happens in colleges and universities.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, but that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is so impactful. Maybe you can share with us as the audience and tell us, what do you think is the whole reason as to why so many of our minds are structured in a way where we feel like, as she said, you want someone else to do it, then you become a beneficiary. When you think about visionary, you are scared to go down that path, or probably you just feel like that's too much work. Let me let someone climb, create, then finally I can just jump in and they can be giving me my salary at the end of the month. Why do you think our children are leaning more towards that? And let's move into the next question. What are some of the challenges you have experienced in your career path? We know with every great entrepreneur, with every great visionary, someone said, do not trust a man with no scars. We have to trace your scars, you know. So what are some of the challenges you have experienced as a woman in the entrepreneurial field?
I could say 70% of the challenges I've encountered have been made by myself.
Okay.
One
Interesting.
is I got into entrepreneurship because I'm aggressive. I feel I'm multi-talented. Then many of the entrepreneurial programs I've engaged in, I did not do a lot of due diligence.
Yeah.
So I have had too many trials, errors, failure. So it also weakens your capacity to move forward. That is one thing I would say. If one is to venture into entrepreneurship, it is good to study the field or the market you want to get into.
Yeah.
Get to know exactly what it entails to succeed in that area.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would say it is generally the mindset we have of being employed and depending on someone else. It took me so long to come to a level where I feel I have the capacity to take responsibility and design the kind of life I want for myself.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of hesitation. I know I'm an entrepreneur, yes, but getting out boldly is something that I didn't do at the right time. I would say I dilly-dallied a bit, and it took me time to be confident. Even when I talk about writing the book, what I've written in the book is something I could have done even 10 years back.
Yeah.
but I kept pushing myself. I kept pushing myself backwards. There are 3 enemies that afflict humanity. One is fear. And I don't know what that fear is all about. But we just have a fear of the unknown. You don't want to come out boldly. And then there is the security of being with people you identify with. We've all gone to the university. When you want to step out, you feel like a black sheep. How do I live? How do I become different? And that distinguishing of yourself is very important. Getting to a level where you know your life is not really dependent on the people around you. Conformity is a virus, I would say. And comfort is also a virus. So one is that fear, then of course doubt, and then indecision. You lay back and you know you're supposed to move forward. So that became one of the things that held me back. But then I would also say I didn't become as resourceful as I should have been when I ventured into entrepreneurship. And the reason is I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a mentor. And that is why today I'm also a very strong advocate of mentorship. It was only until I came across a mentor called James Karundu that some of the things I believed I could do, I was able to nail them. Because of the confidence he gave me. When you talk about network marketing, for example, I have been in and out of network marketing companies for a very long time. But building it as a profession, I didn't do it until I met my mentor, James Karundu. And I would want to put this thing at the back, and he kept asking me, what is this thing that you are not talking about properly? And he pushed me forward, and he told me, run your show. If you have the conviction, don't wait for permission. Just hit the road running. And that is what opened me up. In 2018, I got to take mentorship lessons. I actually took them very seriously. I used to travel all the way from Eldoret once a week for a 3-hour session for 7 weeks. And that is what changed the trajectory of my life. So mentorship is very important. I didn't take mentorship early, and that is what delayed me in my entrepreneurship journey. There's something I'm still learning, mambo ya finances. How to manage finances. It doesn't just come automatically. There are times I used to have a lot of money, but that money I didn't invest properly. There are also times I've invested in wrong ventures. I got into investments that did not turn out well. So that also weakened my capacity to grow as an entrepreneur. So those are some of the things I would tell people before you get into any venture. Please take due diligence, work with a mentor, and work with an expert in the field that you are venturing into. But more importantly, believe in yourself. Because even a mentor will not help you if you don't believe in yourself. Yes.
Did you get to a place where you ever felt like giving up?
Of course, many times. Yeah, there are times I felt like giving up. There are times I kept asking myself, is it worth it? You have worked, like there's a time I invested in bee farming. I bought very expensive beehives, transported from very far. Then someone who was supposed to help me in managing the beehives just disappeared. So it became a problem, and I felt like, should I be in entrepreneurship or should I just stick to the formal employment path? But something inside me kept telling me I'm meant for more. And that is what kept me wanting to just push.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to close down. But before that, I have one final question that I know I would really want Rose to answer so that I can be able to tell, because this particular question, everybody has an answer for it. So, what is thriving to you? What is thriving? This is Rise and Thrive. And I also want our viewers to comment, what is thriving to you? And can you say you're thriving? Can you say you're thriving right now?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I am thriving because first I have found my purpose.
Okay.
And they say when you find purpose, you find the energy. And when you also have the energy, then your journey becomes exciting. So for me, thriving, first of all, is finding your purpose, getting to a level where you are not guessing and you're not afraid of what you are doing. Yeah. So I feel I have found my path. I am confident about where I'm heading to. But more importantly, as a person, as an individual, I value my life more than I did before.
Oh, wow.
I have gotten to a level where I know I am all there is of my kind in this planet for this generation and the generations to come. There is no one else.
Repeat that again.
Yes.
I want them to take it home.
Yeah, so thriving is knowing that you are all there is in your time, in your generation, the generations before and the generations to come.
There can never be another like you.
There will never be another Rose. There will never be another person who carries the identity I have, the talents and gifts that I have, and the agenda and assignment that God has given me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I don't apologize for being who I am.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You're exactly who you think you are.
Yes.
And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Maybe you can tell us.
My big role model is Oprah Winfrey.
Wow. Okay.
So that stage, over 1,000 plus people listening to me, is where I see myself in the next 5-10 years. And counting.
Wow. It has been an amazing, impactful show here at Rise and Grind. I would like to thank each and every one of you. Comment what you have learned today from today's show, and I would be more than happy to interact with each one of you and get to see what exactly each and every one of us has learned. I personally have learned so many things, especially I love what she has finished by saying, there can never be another Rose, and I can confidently say there can never be another Faith. Nobody can represent me the way I represent myself. Nobody has the giftings, the talents, and the identity that God has given me. And so what have you been able to learn from this entire show? So I would like to encourage you, before we go, please feel free to reach out to Rose Lamai. Her number is down on the screen. If you're looking for any form of mentorship, if you're looking for any form of maybe entrepreneurial insight that you're wanting to use to grow your business, if you're also wanting to collaborate on farming and everything, you can reach out to her. She's a multifaceted lady with full potential to be able to scale your business to the next level. So thank you so much for joining us again and again here at Rise and Grind. If you're an entrepreneur who is looking to scale their business to new heights, if you're somebody who is looking to get insights on how they can be able to venture into multiple fields, Rise and Thrive is your go-to plug source of inspiration. So make sure you join us every single Monday at 11 a.m. in the morning. We're going to be having so many guests. We're going to be having entrepreneurs from all over the world whom are going to come on board and share with us their journey, be insightful, and help us understand how they've been able to grow and become the giants that they are in their industries. So if you're looking again to be hosted at the Rise and Thrive show, feel free to reach out to us. My social media handles on Facebook are Faith Sila, that is Faith as it is written in the Bible, and Sila is SILAAH. If you're also looking to reach out to me via Instagram, please go ahead and DM me at Miss Sila, and feel free to tell me where you're watching from so that I can be able to help you, interact with you more, and possibly get your business on board. I mean, if you are looking to grow as an entrepreneur, the only big way is to let yourself be seen. We're in the digital space. It is no longer word of mouth. It is all about the digital space. And so if you're looking to thrive, you have to let yourself be seen. So thank you so much. Until next time on a Monday. Again, her number will be down on the screen. Don't fail to reach out to this amazing lady. We will be more than happy to hear your comments so that we can understand how we can be able to better the show over and over again. Thank you so much. Rise and Thrive is a family. Feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to interact with you. I have been your host, Faith Sila. See you every Monday at 11 a.m. Have a lovely day. Thank you.